What's going on YouTube? So if you've been paying attention to the auto industry over the last several years, Hyundai and Kia have been killing it. They have introduced several stellar products that have garnered a lot of praise from journalists and consumers alike. And now with the addition of the new Kia K5 to the lineup last week, they both have all new midsize sedans. But which of these Korean siblings is the best option for your hard-earned money? Let's go ahead and find out. Alright, so as always, let's start with pricing and equipment. Of course, both brands are known for great value. So starting with the Sonata, its fully loaded limited trim stickers in just slightly over $34,000, even after the $930 destination and $425 of accessories. Now for the new K5, it is an even better deal, with the equivalent top non-performance trim, the EX, starting at only $27,990. But to make the equipment level equivalent, you will need to order the $3,400 premium package. So with destination, the total price will be $32,605. This does place about a $2,000 price difference between the two, which is something we will evaluate in the value section at the end of the video. So beginning with the exterior styling, it's very clear that these two were not designed to just be another appliance. Both are extremely bold and aggressive looking, even compared to their stylish peers like the Camry and Accord. The Sonata has a huge trapezoidal grille, finished in all black mesh no matter what exterior color is chosen. Comparably, the K5's fascia is also aggressive, but it is thinner and wider, extending out under the headlights. And speaking of the headlights, they are very unique LEDs, with the new heartbeat design and the signature Kia amber color scheme. But even as interesting as the K5's lights are, the Sonatas are even crazier, with a piece of chrome on the hood that actually transforms into the daytime running light when the car is on. Now just like in the front, the rest of the styling continues to be very distinct. Both have a sort of sportback design, but more so in the K5, and both have full-length taillights. On the K5, the exhaust outlets are fake, and the Sonatas are real but off to the right side. And then finishing off the designs, you'll find 18-inch contrast alloys on both of them. Now heading on to some of the other features, both of them have heated mirrors and blind spot monitoring as equipped. Additionally, Hyundai throws in their entire advanced safety suite as standard equipment, including automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, and auto high beam headlights. The K5 has all of those features as equipped, but be aware that the adaptive cruise control is part of that EX premium package. Now the Hyundai has another really interesting tech feature called the parking assistant. Just like luxury vehicles such as the BMW 7 Series, you can exit the vehicle and use the key fob to have the car back into parking spots and then pull back when you come back to the vehicle. This is not available on the American K5. Finally, when it comes to warranties, both still have super long basic warranties of 5 years 60,000 miles and powertrain warranties of 10 years and 100,000 miles. However, Hyundai recently added 3 years of complimentary maintenance. Well, that's it for the exteriors, so now let's check out the interiors before we take them out on the road for a spin. Heading up to the cars, of course both vehicles will have smart entry and remote start, but the Sonata has some interesting differences. In addition to the normal key, it has a digital key system, which allows the car to lock and unlock via your phone's Bluetooth or the key card. Now once we actually reach the interiors, they have surprisingly upscale designs that look nothing alike, even ignoring the color differences. Both sets of seats have 8-way power adjustment, memory, heating, and ventilation, but the K5s are finished in a really realistic leatherette compared to the real leather on the Sonata. Once inside, we can talk about the cabin materials. Now overall, they are pretty much equal since the Hyundai includes leatherette on the dashboard compared to soft touch plastic, but only Kia includes the extremely realistic faux wood accents. After starting them up, you'll find a traditional gauge setup in the American K5 and a fully digital one in the Sonata. While there's nothing wrong with the Kias per se, the Sonatas is just a lot more impressive, and definitely one of the best featured outside of a luxury vehicle. The tech advantage of the Sonata continues with a head-up display and a blind spot camera system, neither of which are offered on the K5 currently. And coming back to the steering wheels, they are leather wrapped and heated with the newest design. Okay, so the next thing to talk about is interior storage. As you would expect, the packaging is pretty similar between the two of them. But one nice Kia advantage is that the wireless phone charger is placed in an upright position so that you can charge your phone and still utilize the front cubby. Additionally, the K5 has an extra USB port up front. Heading to the shifters, Hyundai has switched to a push-button shifter, while Kia has stayed with an intuitive traditional one. That being said, only the Sonata comes with paddle shifters on the steering wheel. And when we go into reverse, we have another meaningful difference. The Sonata comes with a really large and vivid 360-degree camera system, which is something that's not currently offered on the American K5. The next stop are the climate controls, where both have standard dual-zone automatic controls with easy-to-use buttons. And as far as the audio systems, they both use the Bose 12-speaker premium sound system. The same also goes for the infotainment systems. They share the same 10.25-inch displays with the same software on board. That means both have integrated navigation, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay. The Kia offers both those systems wirelessly, but only if you have the smaller 8-inch display. Finally, the last things to mention up front are the Sonata's auto-dimming mirror and the K5's manual one, and the fact that both of them have power panoramic moonroofs, which are very rare for the class. Now moving to the rear areas of these two, as expected, they are very similar dimensionally, since they share the same basic platform. Technically, the K5 has a small legroom advantage, and the Sonata a small headroom advantage, but neither of them exceed the 5% difference required to score a point. Once in the back, both offer the amenity of air vents, but the K5 has 2 USB ports instead of just one. Now as far as the trunks, both have smart opening lids and exactly the same 16 cubic feet of space. They also have spare tires. Alrighty, that's it for the interiors. So now let's compare them under the hood and out on the road. Kia and Hyundai are really good at making their cars distinctly different from each other inside and out. But in the hidden areas, that's where they share the most. So the engine is common between them, both having the 1.6-liter turbo 4-cylinder, making 180 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. Obviously, that does mean that acceleration is the same. Okay, so there we are. That was our first acceleration up to about 50 miles an hour in this K5. So of course this is the standard engine, because that's what's going to be offered in the original batch that comes to dealerships. So this is the 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 180 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. So those are good power figures for the standard motor in this segment. Power definitely feels nice. Definitely good torque as well. Also shared between them are 8-speed automatic transmissions, and as equipped, both are front-wheel drive. I think it's still important to note, though, that if you want all-wheel drive, you can get it with the K5 and not with the Sonata at this time. As far as the transmission, we have an 8-speed automatic transmission. That's going to be standard across every single Sonata. And it is front-wheel drive only. They don't have an option for all-wheel drive at this time.
And as far as your drivetrains, that's going to be another area where this K5 offers something that most in the class don't. This one as equipped is front-wheel drive, so I will just go ahead and say that. But you do have the option of getting all-wheel drive on the LXS and GT line trims with the 1.6 liter turbo engine, and people are looking for that extra peace of mind. So it's definitely good that Kia has thrown that in on this all-new K5.
Right, and Sonata doesn't have it at this time, so that's another distinguishing feature to keep in mind if you're shopping between the two of them. Not to beat a dead horse, but since they share a common platform, handling and driving dynamics feel pretty much the same. Both have impressive button-down and athletic feels out on the curvy back roads. But even with the extra emphasis on dynamics, both still have nice and compliant rides. Of course, we're on a back road here, and this gives us a chance to kind of test out how much the handling has improved. And I can definitely say, big step up. Really like the way that it handles. I don't know if the camera can pick up on it, but it stays really flat as you corner, and it has a very agile feel to it. Yeah, it really feels solid. This new N3 chassis. It's really nice. It does a great job. It's just feeling really solid, really premium. Like you said, it has good ride quality and control at the same time. And finally, as far as fuel economy, they are rated identically at 31 mpg combined. Now never fear, we did not forget about the price difference that we mentioned at the beginning of $2,050. Now based on our new scale that takes into account the percentage of MSRP, we will award the K5 1 point per $1,000 of difference, or 2 total points. So there you have it. At the end of the day, these two Korean challengers finished very close to each other. When choosing between them, I think the biggest deciding factor will be the value that you place on having the latest technology in the Sonata versus the Kia offering what is probably the biggest bang for the buck of any midsize sedan. But overall, both offer compelling reasons to choose them over Camry, Accord, and Altima. Anyway, thanks for joining us for another Car Confections comparison, and be sure to subscribe for more comparisons as well as our signature full review videos. Take care and stay safe out there.